guys that had their 4 fish for our 9 fish out of 29 guys. So always be prepared. So a thing like Boy Scouts, always bring that 80 to 100 pound because you never know. Yeah, big heavy jig, anything from 250 to 400. I don't know what it is this year, but color purple.
Really?
Yeah, and those jigs, man, those knife jigs, they're getting bit, licked up.
It's important to drop when the captain, that's you, when he says drop, you got to drop, right?
Absolutely. Got to be Johnny on the spot.
I had no idea you were going to be the man.
A Crimson Tide Nomad streaker jig.
When Tino said drop, you dropped immediately?
Dropped immediately.
And how deep were they?
Oh, like 300 feet.
And how many grams were you fishing?
420.
All right.
But a lot of the guys who caught the stuff also caught them on 320s.
How was your weather?
Great.
Oh, good.
Absolutely
good.
great.
All right, man. Congratulations,
Thanks.
Eric.
So many miles of fish on the way home today, and we stopped one time, couple times, and you just look at them, you know what I mean? But literally 200, 300, 400 yards of fish foaming on the surface. I saw multiple spots of fish up at the same time, so.
Rock and roll, the season's here.
There's fish, plenty of fish. It's getting them to bite.
Yeah.
And again, you just got to have the right equipment,
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, where things are heating up. Sport fishing has gone insane here in Southern California and down in Northern Baja California, and we have got it all for you. There is some incredible bluefin tuna developments going on here this morning. I'll get you all caught up on that. Now, you saw the lead in. There is so much knowledge there. Tino Valentine telling you about how much fish he saw on board the Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. Several of those boats were in bites last night. We'll bring you up to date on that. I talked to the Independence and many other boats. And, of course, the Mission Belle. You saw her deck yesterday as they limited out on bluefin tuna on their full-day trip out of Point Loma Sport Fishing. We've got San Clemente Island, Catalina Island. We've got everything in between. You know what time it is, my friends. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning to you all. Oh, that is so good. It is so great to be with you all. I'll remind you that the Independence has a 3-day trip leaving July 2nd. I think they still have a couple of openings. You don't get to get on that rig very often. IndependentSportFishing.com. Check them out right now. We have a 1.5-day trip on board the Horizon on August the 15th, starting to fill up. You can book by calling 844-619-3474. I want to wish a happy birthday to someone who is super special to the Friedman Adventures family. In fact, she's a member of the Friedman Adventures family. Her and her husband are such a great part of our family. And Kim Towns Gethers. Kim, good morning. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for all you have done to help me in the past. And I hope today is really a special day for you and fish. Enjoy it because you are a really special person. Also, keep Eddie Leland in your thoughts and prayers, going through some very difficult times right now in his battle with cancer. Let's keep him in mind. All right, Tino Valentine told me a joke last night. Most of his jokes are really, really blue. He's the captain of the Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing, and most of his jokes, being a family show, I can't tell. But this one, it's a beauty, and I can tell it. Where do you take a sick boat? To the dock. Of course. There it is. All right. What a way to start out the show, huh? All right, let's get into it because, I've got breaking news flowing in from all different parts of the world here today, and it is really exciting stuff. Pongueros down in Ensenada are getting those bluefin tuna. It's just that they had to get some decent weather, and it looks like we've got that weather, and they are all over the bluefin tuna. I've already heard guys catching them here this morning. Really good fishing going on down there for the Pongueros out of Ensenada. You're going to want to jump on with Blackfin Sport Fishing or any of the other great operations they have down there. Once again, trolling Mad Mac Lures has been a great way to get a bite. But if you go back and you listen to the Danny Cadota show live last night, you'll find out about a lure that you control at 7-8 knots that was knocking them dead on the American Angler the other day. So keep that in mind. That is really a great thing for you to be doing right now. If you are a private boater, you're going to want to listen to that. It's the Halco. And, man, It was working so well. But go back, listen to Danny. He'll make it even more detailed for you, let you know exactly what to use. All right, tremendous fishing yesterday for the full day boats out of San Diego. The San Diego, man, most of their fish were 50-pound fish. Great fishing. They got to stop. They end up in a drift. They drift all day long. School after school after school after school of bluefin tuna. Just found them and found them and found them. 40-pound fly line with fluorocarbon. www.opsonusa.com. We're great for them. Tremendous fishing. And the Mission Bell and several other boats were in on it also. These are the full day guys, okay? So they're all over the fish. They limit it out. And Sean Hardigan running the boat, dear friend of mine, Mimi Pham, his girlfriend on deck, just putting the wood to those bluefin tuna. It was tremendous fishing. And last night I talked to the Independence landfill, that is Brian, Captain Brian. He said, man, we have got such a great signal on 30 to 150-pound fish. They ended up with around 40 fish, I believe, and now moving to another area that they think is going to be even more productive. Several other boats out of San Diego last night in their nighttime bites had tremendous fishing, many limiting out on the bluefin tuna. It has been fantastic. And once again, there are some things, before I get into the San Pedro guys, they were all over it. The Newport guys, all over it. Before I get into that, remember, metered line is super important. You can tell how deep your jig is, and that is super important. Dropping when the captain tells you to drop, we keep telling you that. It is so important. Get some sleep in the daytime so you can be up at night. You do not want to sleep through the bite. Make sure you are fishing a heavy enough jig so that you are vertical. That's how you want to be. Sometimes it's a 300-gram jig. Sometimes it's a 500-gram jig. Wind, current, and all of those kind of things will dictate that. And talking to a crew member will put you in the right spot. Make sure you're doing all of that. And I don't care what you're on right now. A lot of this fish is on the backside of Catalina Island. Okay? That's where it's at. So I don't care what trip you're on. If you have heavy tackle, 2-speed reels with 100-pound on it, bring it. Don't leave it at home. Michael Morrison in a live show on Friedman Adventures yesterday. Go back and listen to that. Mike is such a lovely guy, but he had imparted so much great information about what's going on out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. I just talked to the Amigo a second ago. 16 bluefin tuna in their night bite, presently rolling up on San Clemente Island right now to get in on the yellowtail bite. I'll get into that with you in a moment. Also, the El Patron had a go around last night. New boat out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California, with some excellent fishing. Freedom had a night bite. Everybody just seems to be getting in on it, and it's really magnificent fishing. And did you hear Tino Valentine about the miles and miles and miles of bluefin tuna he drove through on the way home? Man, the light switch is on. 4th of July fireworks are here, and things are really incredible right now. Now, let's make this point. Tino drove through a lot of fish that didn't want to bite. So it's still kind of a nighttime thing up here in this neck of the woods, but you never know. That light switch could go on here this morning, and we'll be watching that very, very closely. It's certainly on for the boats down there out of San Diego. The daytime bite has been absolutely phenomenal. There are several boats that got in on it, and just great fishing going on. Most of the time it's 40-pound fluorocarbon with a good hot bait, but they are biting even heavier than that yesterday. It got so hot and furious. It is really something to keep in mind right now. So really wonderful fishing going on. Thunderbird just called in a moment ago. 30 bluefin tuna so far today. Had a night bite on those BFTs. Really great fishing. Really awesome stuff. Remember, when you're dropping a jig, if your line goes slack, you have not hit the bottom. You're not going to hit the bottom. If your line gets slack, you're bit. Wind, and get that fish to the boat. Fish 30 to almost 200 pounds. I'm getting reports now of some fish that did exceed 200 pounds last night. We'll keep our eyes on that for you all very, very closely. Exciting times, no question about it. This bluefin tuna thing is for real. And if this daytime bite starts to happen up here around Catalina Island, I'm telling you right now, 3/4 day boats are going to be in on it. Native Sun, Pursuit, those boys, you know they've got it in their crosshairs. The minute that goes off, they're going to be on top of that. So even there, if you have the heavy tackle, you definitely want to bring it with you. All right, let's get into some other news and talk to you a little bit about what's going on at our local island, San Clemente Island. Remember, there's a lot of BFT around there. Bring your heavy tackle. But now, like the Amigo, they're going to try for that yellowtail bite and see if they can't get those forkies to put on a show. Sea lions have been a pain in the neck over there, fishing 20 to 25 pound fly line bait, but also surface iron has been really, really effective. I love a Tatty 45. I'm sure you have your favorite jig, but remember, pay attention to what's going on. And sneaking up to the bow by yourself with a jig stick is always a great way to get a bite. And pay attention. You see a bird dip down, there's a fish there. Cast to it. Catch that fish. That's the way you've got to pay attention. You see fish boiling. You see any kind of activity on the surface, bait jumping out of the water. Cast to it. That's how you're going to get a bite. 40 pound. When you're fishing jigs, I don't like anything less than that. You want to fish 40 pound for sure. Clemente also offers some decent bass fishing at times. Calicos are starting to chew a little bit more and more. And we're also seeing some barracuda. We're seeing a variety of species, sheepshead, whitefish, that kind of stuff. Catalina Island, we are seeing some okay bass fishing. There's, most of the guys that are over there are from 2 to 12 yellowtail almost every single day. The key on those yellows has been to fish the lighter line. And I know you're going to have some casualties, but 15 pound fluorocarbon to 20 pound fluorocarbon with a good hot bait. And that's the way to do it. Change that bait regularly. There's been also a few surface iron fish at Catalina. Okay bass fishing. There's still the potential for a white sea bass and a halibut over there. And those bluefin tuna are awfully close to you at Catalina Island right now. Channel Islands, we continue to see occasional sea bass and halibut. The Aloha Spirit yesterday, good rock fishing. They had, I think, some good barracuda fishing. Also, there's more barracuda up there in that neck of the woods than there certainly is here in the LA Orange County area. But man, with all this explosive activity, something tells me, but by the weekend, we are going to have barracuda here on the Horseshoe Kelp or off Rocky Point or somewhere around here. Bring your jig sticks if you are fishing on a local boat. Also, it's super important right now. So some really good stuff. The water's cold in the Santa Monica Bay, but that didn't stop the Spitfire from fly lining baits and catching good calico bass yesterday. Those bass were up boiling around, seemed very active. You put a little more water temp on it, the water comes up just a tad more, and it's going to get good. They also had halibut. I'm waiting for that barracuda explosion down there out of San Diego, the new Seaforth, with some good calico bass fishing along the coast up there at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. They are continuing to catch good amounts of bass, and they're having a bass tournament. You throw in $5, you're in. It's catch and release. It's a lot of fun. There's some great prizes. That's good stuff. Blue skies, good morning to you. Man, I wanted to make their kids trip this afternoon. There's so much breaking news. There is so much to do to keep you all up to date. I don't think I'm going to make it, but hats off to you. Blue Skies is going to be doing with the Fibbers Christian Fishing Club. Great group of anglers. They're going to be out with some kids this afternoon out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. My hat's off to them for sure. Seeing a little bit more halibut in the surf right now, more yellowfin croaker. There's good barred perch fishing, and there's a grunion run coming up on July the 3rd. It starts. I don't know if any pelicans have flown in to the sequence as I've been shooting this morning, but I can see they are hitting the water. Perhaps it's an indication there's bait on the beach. That's always good. And perhaps those grunion are already starting to stage up. But quite a bit of pelicans hitting the beach or the water, feeding on some bait fish that have moved up here into this neck of the woods. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the albacore join this party? I know, I'm still singing that tune. Water's perfect for it. 65 degrees. It looks like that is a possibility this year. In fact, I would say a probability, but the clock is ticking on my albacore prediction. There's no question about it. You start to get in the middle of July, and it's going to get too warm on our water temperatures. Remember, with all of this going on right now, the forecast for an El Nino suggests that we are going to get warm water species in here at some point in time. And that's only going to make that bluefin bite better. The warmer that water gets, those bluefin really love 72-degree water. They'll bite full speed in that. But I suspect we're going to see more yellowfin. We've already caught them in San Diego. We're going to see probably a good Dorado situation. They caught Dorado, 2 of them, 150 miles off the Oregon-California border, way up there in 59-degree water. That suggests to me that there's some water that's warm, perhaps a little bit lower. Most of the time, that warmer water will sit on top of the colder water. But man, there is some exciting stuff in our future. We're seeing all kinds of great bluefin tuna fishing right now. And then, you know, with this El Nino in the forecast, incidentally, we're working on our second hurricane in the eastern Pacific, already very, very active. This first one is veering off from Cabo San Lucas. Looks like the second one will probably do the same. But just the fact that we have these early hurricanes is an indication of how warm the water is and how incredible a season this is going to be. No question about that. So here we go. It's going to be a very fun day. We have shorts that we put up all day long, and I have some backed up already, and that will keep you in touch with all the very latest breaking news, what to use to catch more fish. Eric Weezar, I saw him last night down there at 22nd Street Landing. He was on the Freedom with 29 guys. They had 9 bluefin tuna. Eric had his 2 fish limits, won the jackpot. He's on a short right now telling you exactly how he did it. And how about this is a coincidence. I was over at the Dana Angling Club a couple nights ago. Great guys. Really enjoyed my time there. I told you that. Those are the guys that are on the Amigo. I went walking by and they're like, whoa, what are you doing here? And I said, I told you. Our studio's here at beautiful 22nd Street Landing, and so I'm so happy for them. They're on the Amigo, and they are having some great, great fishing, no question about it. So we are seeing the light switch on. We are seeing the 4th of July fireworks. Things are looking good. I talked to one of our favorite anglers who's coming in from Wyoming right now. He's going to be on board the Pride, no doubt. They're going to get all over it. Great fishing from Ensenada up here. And hey, as I'm talking about the Channel Islands, they had a shot of bluefin tuna about 10 days ago up there. Remember, several boats got in on it. Ranger 85, Endeavor, Pacific Dawn, and they still have that fish up there. Look for some BFT this weekend in the Channel Islands. If you're going out of there, I would bring 2-speed reels and heavy line. You may not get to it. You may get to it. And man, you're going to want to have that tech. If you have it, bring it along. What the heck? All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you. Tremendous fishing going on, and I can't thank you enough for our soaring statistics moving up on passing 3 million views. We've passed that, and also moving up on 9,000 subscriptions. Make sure you like this video. Send it to a friend. It really makes a difference to our success. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and tick that bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and of course right here on YouTube. All right, have a great day. It is a beautiful time in sport fishing in SoCal, and also for our friends in northern Baja, Ensenada, and surrounding areas. I'll continue to monitor it for you here today and throughout the weekend. And as always, I can't thank you enough, and I hope to see you all really, really soon. Have a great day, my friends.